Live.
Oh shit! Even though I'm doing this live, let me get into character.
Wait, are we live?
Oh, we're live, but I'm now in character. So like we were live for 15 seconds, and I wasn't in character, but now I'm in character.
Cool. Um, welcome back. I'm tired. Welcome back
Everyone's tired on a
to
Monday.
the Legends Clubhouse. I am Manic Monday Bobby Caboose, as always. Through that screen, through that camera, into that room is Lawson underscore the Steelers suck. Turner, what's going on, man?
You just had to do that. That was
What?
that was very rude and uncalled for.
Um, dude, I just speak the truth on this show. So, tell me your sorrows.
I'm going
Guess
to
who didn't lose this weekend?
the Lions.
Yep,
The
the
Lions didn't
Lions.
lose, but
The Lions didn't lose. That used to be a
suck.
joke around here because the Lions used to suck. And it was just like, oh, they can't lose on the bye week. Ha, 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 ha. Or, you think they're going to take the L on the bye?
Some of
You know.
my buddies, they're fans of shitty teams, and when their teams are on bye, some of our other friends, they'll say, "Oh, don't lose the bye week this week," just
Yeah.
kind of rub it in.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
bullet. Like, F off.
yeah, it. Last night
Yeah.
was a genuine like a tale of two halves because in the first half we looked solid. Our defense was playing great. We were up 9 going into half. Then we get the ball, and then 2 plays later there was a third and 8 call where it looked like it was just a classic Aaron Rodgers doing what Aaron Rodgers does. You know, a a couple dummy calls and then a fake snap, and the defense jumped off sides, and it being an essential free play, Aaron chucked it down the field and it hit Roman Wilson right in the hands. And so, well, there's all this confusion. The entire offensive line is pointing where the offsides was, and then the camera just pans to Rodgers, and he's like, and just looking at the ref like, are y'all really not gonna do anything? And even the refs all got together and huddled up, which I've never seen them even discuss a potential offsides after a play that wasn't called.
Yeah.
But the fact that they huddled up and they got Mike Pereira involved to say, hey, could they do this? And he even said it would be really, really unusual for them to throw an offsides after the play had already been done. But after that, it was like the all of the momentum that we had, it was sucked out of the stadium. And Green Bay took it and ran with it, and they just didn't look back. We were outscored 28-9 in the second half, and for a team that is, in my opinion, they're not in the upper class of the AFC. They're in the class below. Like my Steelers were in the class below. If you're up that big going against a defense, it's not like they have Darrell Revis and Deion Sanders and insert random, all-time nickel corner. They have good DBs. They're solid. Their
Mhm.
strength is their pass rush, and Aaron Rodgers is quintessentially a quarterback that could neutralize it. However, when you start to get into these behind the sticks, like these second and eights, third and sevens, it's really tough to continue to, because we if we're gonna keep it a stack, the Steelers, they are one receiver, and it's DK Metcalf, and it's like, okay, are we gonna get something from Calvin Austin? Roman Wilson had a big play, like the first or second play the Steelers had from offense, but once again, another young player. They have a slew of tight ends. They are all good, not great in the upper echelon of tight ends. Jalen Warren is good. He's a fantastic two for number one. We'll see. He's explosive. It just really, losing to the Bengals bothered me. This is demoralizing because even though Green Bay, in the whole totality of the NFL like totem pole, they are a better team than us. But the fact that we had a 2 possession lead going into half, we got the ball out of half, and we go 3 and out, and it's just, at once there was a stretch in the game. Jordan Love had 20 straight completions. Like, we can't guard nobody.
Hey, what didn't you guys have another receiver? What was his name?
I think he wore number 3.
Uh, guy's wearing a big star now.
Bro,
I may have called him Carl on Friday.
It will forever piss me off because when we traded for DK, it was like, oh, I want to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
I just want to, even if all the memes came out where it's, oh, Steelers run a draw 80 yards down the field, DK and George Pickens are doing the 3D on DBs, but it's the fact that, I mean, look what they're doing in Dallas. Now, granted, Dallas got destroyed yesterday, but it's the fact that you have 2 number 1 receivers, depending upon how you value George Pickens.
Right. And hey, there's not many times that I root for the Steelers, but against the Packers, they're my NFC North division rival, but in a little part of me, not because of you, not to just rub it in for your face, because I don't like that team either. A little part of me is glad the Steelers lost because I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I'm glad that he wasn't able to beat his 32nd team.
Yeah.
He does not have victories over every team in the league. And if he retires after this year, he will be one short. And his last throw as a Packer, I will never forget.
Was the interception?
Yes. It was Kirby Joseph, or it was Brian Branch?
I thought it was Kirby Joseph.
I think it was Kirby Joseph too. So okay, we're on the same page. Because those two, seek and destroy. They're not, both of them are fucking amazing. So, but dude, over the weekend, I think I watched 2 football games.
Really quick before we move on, I got like one last thing just to show you why the loss pissed me off so much.
Because you're a Steelers fan?
Yes. But so like against, when we lost to the Bengals, Chase Brown averaged 2.7 yards per carry entering the game. Then he averaged 9.8 per carry. And then I'm like, okay, fuck. We're going against Josh Jacobs, only one of the most bell cow running backs in the NFL. He had 33 rushing yards.
Shut him down.
Shut him down. Bro,
shut him down.
Tucker,
shut him down.
Tucker, motherfucking Kraft. Like when I just tell you, he fantastic receiving tight end, but this game reminded me of in 2018, where it was the Jesse James catch game, where it was like Gronk 2.0, because Gronk in that game had like a gazillion fucking receiving yards too. Fucking Tucker Kraft 7 catches for 143 and 2 touchdowns, including like, if you just want to talk about chunks, like 24, his second touchdown, it was a 24-yard, touchdown, 18 yards after the catch. 56-yard catch, 42 after, 56-yard catch, 42 of it after he caught it. Right. 16-yard touchdown, his first one. 18 yards after the catch. Like
18 yards and a 16-yard touchdown?
Yes! You heard me right.
Hey. You know they threw it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage,
and it didn't fucking matter. It didn't matter. He still fucking scored.
Cool, man. Where was TJ Watt when all this was happening?
On the fucking edge.
Watt. Whoever the fuck Watt you
had. We used to have 2 of them.
You used to have 2 Watts?
Yeah, we used to have 2 of the 3.
There's 3?
Yeah, there's Derek Watt, the fullback.
Well, cool. I'm glad. I'm sure he had a great career.
For a fullback, hey, Derek was nice.
He's no Corey Schlesinger. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
You don't know who Corey Schlesinger is. Get the fuck out of here.
That's like me saying, hey, Mr. Kaboose, do you know who Night Train Lane is?
Who the hell's Night Train Lane?
You know who Dick Lane is?
Oh, he's from the Steelers?
No, he's a Detroit Lions cornerback from like the 50s. His actual name was Dick, but they called him Night Train because whenever he would travel, he wouldn't fly, he would take the trains at night. Night train.
I want to take a train at night. I'm taking a train to Chicago. That's a thing here.
Yeah?
It's like a 6-hour train ride, yeah.
Nice.
Done it a few times. It's okay. They have like a bar cart. That's pretty cool. And you can get up and walk around, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can, there's like tables or there's chairs with like tables in the middle, so you can play the cards or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's not
Fire.
bad. But
Yeah, what
anyway,
did you do over the weekend?
I watched two football games this weekend. I watched
Nice.
the Broncos and Cowboys. And then I watched the Michigan State game on Saturday night, or some of it,
Mm-hmm.
until my Sparties started losing control, which they kind of were losing control immediately. But they had a chance to make it interesting, and they didn't. But
Mm-hmm.
what else did we do over the weekend, man? We watched bunch of Halloween movies, like actually like the Halloween series, like
Uh-huh.
Michael Myers. We watched the original, which the girlfriend never seen before, so we watched that
Fire.
kind of during the World Series and Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
We also watched half of the second one. We also watched H2O, and we also watched Resurrection. Yesterday, we watched Paul Rudd's, I think, acting debut in The Curse of Michael Myers, or Halloween 5. Um, and that one's really weird because like it's like there's this like weird baby that's involved, and this lady gives birth and just puts him in a cabinet,
I thought you were about
and
to
then
say
Paul
microwave. I was going to say, huh?
no Paul Rudd just like randomly finds the baby in the bathroom in a cabinet, and then he's like really weird. Like he plays the teenage version of Timmy Doyle, or Tommy Doyle, whatever his fucking name is from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so he's like a super weird dude. And there's like this scene where they're driving and they're like, "What's up with your neighbor?" And they look over and he's just standing in the window, staring out the window, and he looks so fucking weird.
The baby?
But yeah, huh?
The baby or Paul Rudd?
Oh, young Paul Rudd,
Could you imagine? The baby's
the
head is
baby.
like his head is in between like where the window raised all the way and his feet's like just perfectly in the fucking window.
Yeah, yeah, like just post it up.
For real.
But yeah,
Fire.
so we're big fans of Dr. Loomis over here. And what else? We then yesterday we did the little Sunday fun day, and then I got to talk to you on the phone last night, on the way back from Culver's. So that was
Nice.
fun.
Nice. Did speaking of the World Series game before, because once again there's a slew of NFL we could, but
One, dude.
bro, for someone that entering the World Series, I was like, if the Blue Jays can get to the bullpen, that was going to be their recipe for success. They cannot allow Dodger pitchers to even enter the seventh.
Yeah,
And for when the Blue Jays tied it up, I was in a call with my buddy, and he was like, "I'm about to just put 125 on the Dodgers because they were plus money," and I was like, then they took, I can't remember if it was still tied when they scored that like 9-run inning in the sixth, but I was like,
yeah.
now you gotta, because he bet it in like the fourth, fifth, whenever it was,
Mhm.
and I was like, your only problem is Snell's pitch count's high, so you're gonna have to sweat this fucking bullpen,
Right.
and then what do you know? It goes, what was it? Walk, single, 1-run single, walk, grand slam, single, walk, 2-run homer, and it's just like, dude. And the fact that Yamamoto, and once again, I'm not a baseball historian, so I couldn't tell you when the last time another pitcher did this, but I was reading that it's the first time that a pitcher has made back-to-back complete games since like in the playoffs since like 2011 or something like that, and it's really interesting to see because we both have discussed over the past couple months that we as in baseball, the world of baseball, they don't let pitchers
Yeah.
go as deep, back to back starts or just almost any time ever.
Well, yeah, so the rumor is that the Tigers will likely deal Tarek School in the
Mm-hmm.
offseason. And the reason I bring that up and is because you mentioned Yamamoto going complete game. Now there's things, people are talking on the local radio or wherever saying, like, are you really sad if they trade him because Scooble only went like what 6 1/3 that last start.
Six exact.
And you're yeah, oh okay, 6 exact, and
At a
he's they were like he gave it everything that he had. He apparently he agreed to come out of the game, and like okay, do you want now that you see that, do you want a pitcher worth $500 million um to go 6 or 7 innings and
because like
can't in a big game or a big scenario can't go longer than that?
we even saw 78-year-old Max. We saw Mad Max in the last series. I think it was the sixth inning. It might have been fifth against in. I don't remember what game it was. I remember it was in Seattle. Might have been game 5,
Hmm.
where the manager. I don't know the Blue Jays manager off the top, but he walked up to the mound and Scherzer just give him the hell no, no. I'm not coming. I'm not. I'm getting through like these next two batters because I think he just walked. I think it was 2 outs and he just gave up a walk, and they walked out and he's like, no, you're not taking this fucking ball from me, and you want that, and it's I didn't know or I didn't hear or see that he kind of agreed to go out of the game. It's one of those where when you look at it, when you look back at it, 101 four seam right down the pisser to your MVP, and it's like,
Mhm.
was that just your last? I'm just gonna give this pitch all I got, and
Yeah.
whatever the outcome is, I can live with it because I'm coming out
Mhm.
anyways.
Right. So, would you like what would you do in this scenario? Would you try to keep him? Would you trade him? Would you what if you were Scott Harris in the Detroit Tigers? What are you doing with Scooble?
I was about to say I'm sending Alex Bregman a big old check and fucking Josh Naylor a big old check, and there's another free agent in Seattle that there was rumors that Detroit was interested in. I saw the other day, but I'm sending them all blank checks. Uh, but
That's when
me
it's not your money.
me right me
No
per
one ain't gonna do that.
me personally, what I would do, and once again, maybe this is the comparing it to other sports. I would try and keep my homegrown guy
Mhm.
for the entire, because once again, when you draft somebody and you build them up, you only hope that they get to where he is. So
Right.
it's like, and we've talked about it when we were throwing around Paul Skeens trades, where it's like, would you trade a whole farm system for Paul Skeens? It's like you can get as many guys as you can, or as you want in a hypothetical trade. But the thing is, we still don't know if they're going to play or how they're going to
Right.
play, because there were stretches where I thought, Parker Meadows, and there's another really high ranked prospect you guys have that I thought, I'm like, oh, Max Clark. There were
Yeah.
there were a couple, there was a couple games stretch where I'm like, oh, Max Clark, he's fast, great fielding, good contact hitter, good enough power. I'm like, okay, I can see him, maybe cracking the starting rotation. And then it's like over the last month and a half, it was like he was just DMP, 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 DMP.
No, I didn't know. I didn't even know they brought Max Clark up to the majors. Um, to be honest with you, because
May,
he's one of
may,
the future prospects.
I was gonna say maybe they did. Maybe I'm just thinking of other
No,
clips that I saw him in, like the
he
minors.
yeah, he's one of the top guys in the
Yeah.
in the farm system. Him, there's a guy named McGonigal.
Hmm.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then they have two other dudes that are pretty good. I forget their names,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like okay.
But to answer your question, I would send him a blank check and hope he accepts whatever deal he wants, because once again, when you draft somebody or acquire a young player, you cross your fingers that he turns out to be, and I'm not just talking about a pitcher. It could be a catcher, it could be a shortstop, it could be a center fielder. You cross your fingers and hope that one day he is discussed as one of, if not the best player at his position on my team.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Tigers are they're I feel like they are the biggest small market team in the MLB. Um they
Right?
ever since their old owner passed away and his son took over, he don't spend money. They're way under, they're about average in payroll for the Major League Baseball. And you're looking at the World Series right now, and you're like, man, Toronto compared to the Dodgers are a small market. No, I think they had the fifth or sixth largest payroll in baseball, and that's where the Tigers need to be. The Tigers need to crack the top 10 if they're going to be real serious World Series competitors. And
Yeah.
if at the end of the day, man, if Scooble is not here, it's 1 out of 5 games. Like that's how I look at it as far as a
Yeah.
pitcher.
That's true.
Yeah, you want the best pitcher in the world on your team, but fuck, dude, like you're not gonna pay him $500 million and then have the rest of the squad, making less than a mil. So, um,
Hmm. I'm curious.
it's a weird situation, and eh, you see will likely be traded in the winter meetings. I don't know who said that. I don't know if it has any weight. I don't know,
I don't know.
whatever it is.
The really interesting thing too is whenever things get leaked, it's always, well, it's either Scooble's camp team representation, whoever put it out, or it's the Tigers. So it's
Yeah,
like, and no information ever gets out without someone wanting it out. Whether
right,
it be, once again, however many people are involved, someone leaked this for a reason. So
right.
could this be a play to try and get more money? Maybe. Or to at least send out, the feelers to all of the 29 MLB teams, like, hey, he's probably on the move. You better call and see what they want. Hmm.
But like I mean, there's only a handful of teams that are going to be able to afford him anyway. So it's like,
Right.
okay, like you're trading him for a rental anyway. So it's like it's a really weird spot,
Hmm.
unless you trade him to, one of 5 teams that are going to actually be able to pay him. It's going to be a really weird spot, as far as what you're going to get back in return. So real quick though,
Yep.
I meant to talk to you about this while you were talking about your, devastating Steelers loss.
My
But
Squealers, yeah.
on Friday, we talked about, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and this gambling mafia thing.
Yep.
Do you know who would be great if they got caught doing something like this? Mike Pereira.
That would be.
I think that would be fucking hilarious
It's
because I can't stand that guy when he comes on the TV and tries to explain or, whatever. It's like he's mansplaining everything to us, and we're like, "Hey, we've watched football our whole lives, dude. You don't have to explain shit for the Swifties that just joined us within the last couple years."
I'm just curious. What was the name of that or famous or infamous referee that was rigging games? Do you remember?
Uh,
Like back in the early 2000s?
his last name was Donahue. It was
Yeah.
either Mike or Tim Donahue.
Yeah. And it really makes me laugh because if one of the head like officials were to ever get caught in like the gambling ring, I'm like, ooh, that would be fucking hilarious. And
But like Chief Wallace came out and said that shit. He's like, dude, he's like, they used to send emails together to each other, and he's like, I would just call him out at the end towards the end of my career because he's like, got smartened up to it. So, he'd be like, hey man, I know you got an email last night. Like, you don't have to call this shit, and
so funny.
they would just look at him with like a blank stare, like, how'd you know?
How'd you know? That's
So
so
who knows,
funny.
dude? We were talking about this yesterday, man. I've had conversations with people in the past, saying, that I believe if you don't think any kind of corruption goes on in sports, not saying that it happens all the time, but I believe you are very ignorant.
Hmm.
Um, and people, I got a point of view that, I was like, okay, I didn't really think about like someone was like, yeah, I think it, shit happens, but I like to believe that it doesn't just because it keeps the innocence of sports alive and like I can still root for it, whatever.
I was.
And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
that's perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
like I'm like if you are 100% like no, nothing, no, it's sports.
Yeah,
Dude,
those people are
boxing,
nuts.
horse racing, they've all been rigged for fucking like a century.
Even
So
the World Series in the 20s.
right, I mean, shit happens, and like there's
Mm,
people behind this stuff that are way smarter than you and I, and just you have no idea who the people involved when there's billions of dollars, being
right.
used in a certain business or whatever. It's going to be manipulated some way somehow
That's
for
why
them to
when
make a profit.
like I think you brought that topic up, a couple weeks ago, and I was saying I don't. I want to believe that it doesn't. I'm not blind. I'm sure it does, but I do want to keep the innocence and the. There's no way they would rig this. It
Right.
can't. It can't be rigged because I watch it every day. However, if it were to come out in 20 years that oh yeah, there were like Scott Foster was rigging stuff against Chris Paul,
Mhm.
or Tony Brothers was doing XYZ, I would be like, damn, because
Well,
y'all refed all the big time games that I can remember.
right, but like even like the NBA, like you got to look at it maybe you know the answer. What? Because maybe I just don't know. Why do certain trades not go through? Like as far as like I know they have to take a physical or stuff, but why does the NBA like deny some trades? Like I remember, back in the day, Chris
The
Paul,
Chris
they
Paul
denied a
one.
trade for him to go to the Lakers, and then he went to the Clippers instead. Like why does that happen?
Okay, so that trade in particular happened due to a specific rule that would go with like their level of contracts.
Hmm.
So it was a contractual thing. Now the NBA is not a hard cap league; it's a soft cap league. So you can go over the cap, but then you get into your luxury tax, and then your first and second aprons, which that's why the Boston Celtics had to this past offseason had to ship off a lot of their core pieces because their new owners are like, I'm not gonna pay these ridiculous, second apron fees and stuff like that.
Right.
So, another example of a trade that went through but didn't was the Mark Williams trade that the Lakers and the Hornets did last year for Mark Williams, who's a center. They sent a trade, went through, sent players to the CDs, XYZ, all that jazz, and then about 4 days, excuse me, 4 or 5 days later, Mark Williams failed the physical that the
Mhm.
Lakers did on him, and a lot of people are like, "Damn, dude! So you had this the Lakers, because they're one of the biggest brains in the NBA. And, Luca, LeBron, Austin Reeves, all
Yeah.
those guys on the Jazz. It's like they
Ronnie.
Bronny, right? It's one of those where they had this great potential to get a really good young up and coming player who was essentially a perfect fit for the team, but he failed his physical, which
Yeah.
you know it
So yeah, because like I just like I get that they have to pass physical and stuff, but like it seems like the NBA like itself, like the commissioner or whatever, steps in sometimes and is like, nope, that trade's not going through, and you're like, why?
yeah, it's really rare too. Whenever that stuff happens, like example, if there was one that, not saying I would have vetoed, because once again, if you're gonna fuck up your team, if I'm the commissioner, I don't give a shit how you fuck up your team.
Right.
It's not my problem. Um,
Right. You agreed with it. You agreed to it with the other general manager, right?
right, and so that's when, like, for the Luca AD trade, Adam Silver was like, I had no idea until they sent the paperwork in, and I was just as shocked as everybody else. Was like, wow, okay. and so
Yeah.
and so it just really makes me it interests me due to the different kinds of trades that in between the different sport and in between the different major sports leagues do, because
Mm.
you have baseball where there's no salary cap, so essentially you could get whoever whenever, as long as the team is willing to give them up.
Right.
And
And you
then
could have a situation where, I think the Nationals are still paying Max Scherzer. Like,
yes, I think there's three.
he's getting paid by like four different
I
teams.
was just about to say, I shit you not. I think he's getting paid by like 3 or 4 different teams, like still, which is insane. And
Right.
then there's the NFL where your contracts matter a whole lot more than the draft compensation is valued more in the NFL due to the scarcity. There's only 53 players, XYZ games played, all that jazz. And then there's the NBA, which there's always been the rumors of the is there a salary cap, because you can essentially do what you want, but
Mhm.
it's what is your owner willing to pay.
Right.
And it's kind of like how the Eagles would always seem to get more money
Yeah.
and make these crazy trades and then immediately pay him. It's like either Howie Roseman is David Blaine, or there's no salary cap, which there's always going to be the group of people
Yeah.
that believe there's no salary cap.
Yeah, I mean, football, like, you find a way, you just restructure, and then like every year the salary cap goes up anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the salary cap for football, like people are like, oh, we only have this. It's not real, dude. Like they can figure it out. Like you said, like there's teams like the 49ers or the Eagles that seem to just get all these, high profile players and pay them a bunch, and you're like, well, how are they going to add Christian McCaffrey? How are they going to add Saquon? How are they going to add this guy? And then they just do, and you're like, oh, okay, that seemed easy. They just added him.
Oh, they just won the Super Bowl. Let's give Jalen Hurts 250 million. Let's give AJ Brown another extension. Let's make Devontae Smith, let's pay him too, and then Saquon's
Right.
gonna want a new deal in the next year. And guess what? They'll figure that out, and they'll probably give him a shit ton of money, because that's just what fucking happens when you're Howie Roseman, I think him and Brett Veach, the Chiefs GM, those two fuckers like everybody else is playing checkers, they're playing three-dimensional chess. Like though like the thoughts and moves that they do, and I'm like, there's no way you like. Once again, when you give Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, and because once again, there's the once you get your Super Bowl, now I want to get paid. It
Right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're the face of the franchise, your best weapon, or the backup defensive tackle. I got my ring. Now I'm finna really cash in.
Right.
So it's just interesting to me as to how these teams do it, and I would really love to know like the NFL salary cap in the grand scheme of things is not that complex. How they finagle the numbers around and restructure to whenever I see teams restructure or do things like that, it's essentially a credit card. I'm gonna put this on
Right.
my credit card. Eventually, the bill will come due.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like and it could be because I don't pay attention to it, but I think I'm probably more uh you know more as far as like a common fan that doesn't pay attention to that shit. But like
Hmm.
I feel like they never explain or uh you know give the numbers on how this shit actually works, as
Yeah.
far as like when they're like, oh, they just reconstructed some contracts. Oh, okay.
Well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, thanks for the information, guy.
Yeah,
So
it's the thing with the NFL and the salary cap for all leagues. All that shit's public knowledge, and that's why whenever like these high profile athletes, when they sign these super big deals, it's like, oh, now if someone randomly sees you at a Ruth at a Ruth Chris fucking steakhouse, it's like, oh, that dude over there, he's worth $350 million,
yeah,
because all these contracts are so public. You can just go and look up, okay, what's his cap hit? Oh, if they cut him, what's the dead money they're gonna have to pay? XYZ,
yeah,
what's the salary cap? And then it. I think the NFL salary cap goes up 10, 11% every year. So it's
yeah.
so it's
It's significant.
yeah, and so it's like, okay, well, I can sign you to a contract now, and then the trajectory of it later. That's why I know we never talk hockey, but that's what happened with the Toronto Maple Leafs when the COVID year happened. They signed John Tavares and Austin Matthews to these big deals at the time, because they're like, the salary cap's gonna keep going up, and then COVID hit,
Yeah,
and the salary cap did not go up for like 3 years. So it's like, well, fuck.
yeah.
Now we have these bad contracts.
Um, dude, 5 years ago. Oh my God.
Time
I,
flies,
I was
dude.
just thinking like, yeah, I was just thinking like, you a lot of people like will reminisce about their high school days and shit or whatever, and like just imagine like if you were like a COVID kid and you're like, man,
Dude.
remember how crazy fucking 2020 was, and like we
Bro,
didn't go back. school. We just like seniors, like we just graduated. Like they just gave it to us. Like, all right, man.
I was fucking graduated for a year, and honestly, it's like all the motherfuckers, just all right, don't come back to school, and I was like, are y'all dead ass serious right now? Cause of a cold? And then, and then when everything started to happen, like my mom was one of the well, she wasn't like in a panic, but like she was like, Lawson, we went. I've been seeing all this stuff online about this COVID thing. I went to the store to just get whatever, and I had never seen how empty a Walmart like bread, milk, eggs, like it was just everything was just off the fucking shelves, and I was like, people are really freaking out about this.
Dude, I would buy toilet paper at fucking 7-Eleven, dude, when I would see it. I was like, man, 7-Eleven's got it, dude. There would
Dude,
only
I
be like
remember seeing
two of them on the shelf, but I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm taking them.
I remember seeing all like the when you top 10 things you need to have in case you don't have toilet paper, and obviously it's all just funny, gifts and gifts, pictures and skits
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like I remember seeing what to do if you don't have toilet paper, and it was like some dude sliding down like a handrail, and I'm like, that's gross. That's fucking nasty.
Hey, I'll admit, man, we used coffee filters at one point, because we ran out, and it was just like,
Yo,
all right, dude,
I will,
like,
dude.
find some toilet paper.
I will say one thing though. Every time my mom would go to like a gas station, she would always grab like a fucking handful of like their napkins from their little container. Hey, them napkins came in clutch.
Just in case, man. Just
Hey,
in case. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was like I would just imagine how like a student, like, but like like I said, the kids are gonna be like, even kids that are probably that are still in school, like they'll probably be like, oh my God, remember that. Oh, remember in fourth grade when we were when it was COVID and we couldn't do the Macarena every day. But
we couldn't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
yeah, we couldn't go out and recessed. We couldn't play wall ball. We had to Lysol everything that we touched. We couldn't,
Crazy
have fun
times,
and
dude. It was fucking nuts. That's some
we
crazy
couldn't
shit.
we couldn't go outside because the world was ending. Remember that?
You know what's even more funny? Don't nobody like go outside now.
I know, man. I
Like
know. We
like
were
once again,
talking about that too.
check on Friday, see how many motherfuckers out there trick or treating.
Dude, I have a theory that the reason that people don't trick or treat that often now is because they have so many trunk or treats leading up to
One of my friends on
Halloween.
Facebook was talking about that. She was talking about how her and her husband and fiance, whatever they are, how they're gonna take their kids and actually go trick or treating because she went on like this giant rant about how trunk or treats are ruining Halloween, and I was like, I mean, in a sense, yeah, because once again, I just remember the nostalgic feeling of, oh, me and some friends we finna go trick or treating, or because
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Like I remember just the whole, because that's part of the kid experience, dude.
Right. I wonder how many bougie kids are out there that are like, I don't want to wear the same costume again. So they get like two or three costumes or four
Shut
costumes or
the
five.
fuck, like dude, like that shit used to, dude. Once again, from how I grew up, ain't nothing wrong with just being a plain old ghost. You get
Dude,
you,
we were going through on the latest episode of 64-bit Legends. We were going through like some of our costumes
yeah.
that we were like kids and shit. And like, yeah, dude, like being in elementary school, like not having any money, dude, like I'm like remembering like what the fuck I was. And there was I think one year that my mom actually bought a costume for me and I was like a pirate.
My mom always
And then
made mine.
yeah, and
Yeah,
but then other years I was like an injured football player and just
just
or
walked
like
around on
a
crutches.
player, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this, it wasn't until like I got older and I started going to like Halloween parties where I would
Mm-hmm.
go to. And I was never like a Halloween store. Like, let me go to the Halloween store and just pick out a costume. I was like, all right, let me make some shit. Let me go to the Salvation Army, get
I'll make my own
some
costume.
yeah, and then I'll go to the Halloween store just for like a prop or two.
I remember like the last I remember the last yeah, the last trick or treat, or I said the last trick or treat, last Halloween that I can remember, um, it was me, my buddy, and his girl, and we were all like Star Wars characters, and I was Darth Maul, and I remember like my mom painting my face because Darth Maul's
Hmm.
got like a red and black face. If you've never seen Star
Yeah,
Wars, yeah, but yeah,
Darth Maul.
yeah, Darth Maul, yeah.
I'd go with Darth Maul.
Cause my buddy was Darth Vader and his girl was Kylo Ren, and so I was like, oh well, I guess we're all Sith.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey, yo, mom, can you paint my face?" And so yeah,
I would
she made a
I would
little.
have been an Ewok or whatever that thing is.
You said a what?
An Ewok. Isn't there an Ewok?
Yeah, they're like little bears.
Yeah, I would be one of that thing. I would be that
they're little they're little bears and throw rocks and have little spears. They're
thing.
cute.
Sweet, dude. Sweet.
Uh,
I didn't know what it was. I just like the name. So now I'm a little yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I could be a little bear and
yeah, dude,
with a
little bears.
rock and I can just throw it at people. Fuck yeah, dude. And then I can't get in trouble because that's what I do. Like that's like if I don't fucking throw it, then I'm not an Ewok.
Basically, and what's fucking hilarious is, uh. in episode 6 of Star Wars, they all live in the fucking woods and fucking tree houses. So they're all just a bunch of little bears walking around with sticks and rocks.
Dude,
Awesome.
so I've never seen a Star Wars movie all the way through, right?
Oh, they're all,
That's
most of
yeah.
them are really good.
You know what? It kind of took me by surprise that like they like you see a clip. I'm like, why are they in the woods? I thought it was like Star Wars. I thought they were
Those are
just
in space. Yeah.
like I thought they were just floating around in space in their fucking spaceships.
Nah. Yeah.
The Star Trek. Do they go on different planets?
I never watched Star Trek. I just watched Star Wars. My dad could probably tell us about the Star Trek and Star Wars and the big differences. But I mean, it's one of those where it's like this is this and the other is this.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I just always thought they were just fighting on spaceships.
nah.
I didn't think they landed. I thought they just had
There
infinite fuel.
there's no story. They just float around dodging asteroids and shooting each other with pew pews.
Yeah, like they were just shooting each other, and then they invade each other's ships somehow. Like sometimes your ship, maybe the security system is down for a couple hours, and people infiltrate it, and you're like, oh my god, how'd you get on my ship? And then
Everyone's asleep.
yeah, like they got to sleep sometime. Like or like they Trojan horse it. Like they're like, oh, we have a gift for you. And then they come out of the gift and they're like, but it's all,
It's all a
or
facade.
let me throw Darth Vader out into space so he just like floats away.
It's so funny.
That's what I always thought Star Wars
So
was
funny.
all about.
I, re-
But
I
I
recommend the
guess
first like 7, because then 8 and 9 are kind of bad, but it's okay. They're just good times.
yeah. So yeah, you educated me a little bit. I didn't know
I
they
know.
went on planes.
Oh, here's a great idea for your Ewok costume from the chat. I know someone who was an Ewok and they threw TNT poppers at people. The little poppets.
Yeah.
That's a great
No, man,
idea.
I would throw rocks. I would collect rocks.
I
I
just
would.
walk around picking up rocks.
I wouldn't walk around picking up rocks. I'd already have the rocks.
Oh yeah,
I'd like.
silly me.
I would have a pillowcase. Okay, so if I'm trick or treating, which I
And Star Trek
didn't
does go to planets too.
I didn't put this into effect, but if I'm trick or treating, then I got my pillowcase for candy, and I got my pillowcase full of rocks, and while one pillowcase starts to deflate because I'm throwing rocks at people, the other pillowcase is inflating with candy.
Makes sense to me.
I know. So, I'm just gonna chuck rocks at you until you get the fuck out of my way.
You start jumping kids and
Or
just pelting
if
them
you
with
don't give me the
rocks.
candy I want, or if I don't get the candy I want, I'm gonna throw a rock at you
I mean,
and hit you right in the fucking forehead.
it makes perfect sense to me.
Hey, Ewok bitch.
What the fuck? What the fuck are the hands? Could you imagine throwing up like a gang sign if you were a Ewok?
Like, Ewok. Like
Ewok.
some kind of some kind of E out of your hand. Ewok.
Yo, EW Ewok.
Yeah, dude. For real. You just need a dash in the middle. Is there a dash? Dash walk?
He'll be like Ewok.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
It's fucking stupid. Ewok.
You're stupid. But
Who wins game 3 tonight?
game 3 is tonight. Who's pitching?
Tyler Glasnow is pitching for the Dodgers, and Mad Max Scherzer is pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I'm going with the Blue Jays, man. I'm going with the Blue Jays. They're gonna win. Blue Jays are gonna win 6-4.
One of my buddies was asking me about, do I think that like the Blue Jays like game 1 was just a one off? I'm like, no, they're a really good hot team. The inning when they scored a gazillion of their runs was insane. However,
I was gonna say the a team that sweeps in the CS versus a team that goes 7 in the CS is like 1 in 5 of all time.
I saw that funky stat. It was like 1 in 6, 0 and 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And once again, I don't remember which one is in the winning category. I don't know. I don't remember if it was the team that swept or the team that went 7 grueling games. But
no, the team that goes 7 wins.
Oh.
They're like, because the team that swept hasn't played, and the team that 7 just keeps playing, and like my Tigers had that happen back. I think it was 2012. They got swept by the Giants.
Yeah.
And fucking Kung Fu Panda hit like 3 home runs off of Justin Verlander, which that was cool. That was really cool to watch.
Said Kung Fu Panda though.
Especially going out to the bar to watch it. That was really fun.
He said Kung Fu Panda. Who the fuck is Kung Fu Panda?
Pablo Sandoval, the Kung Fu Panda.
Hey, dude, he had his moment.
Yeah, dude, it was great. I'm glad it happened against us. Oh, and then what makes it better is Justin Verlander leaves for Houston and wins the World Series. That really helps.
Yeah.
If I ever went to therapy, I would be like, you know what?
This is where it started.
The reason why I am the way I am is because of Justin Verlander and Matt Stafford. Fuck both of them. That's what I would tell that would be the first sentence out of my mouth for my therapist. And they'd be like, okay.
Isn't Max Scherzer also a former Tiger?
Yeah, man. Well, you guys.
No. I couldn't remember. I was asking.
Well, so Max.
It was just so funny how your lips were like, oh, huh?
Yeah. So Max, I don't.
You don't have the same hatred
because he's not on the same level. Because as much as I love Max, and I thought they should have kept Max over Verlander. Max didn't start off as a Tiger, so it's a little different for him because he was a Diamondback prior, and I think he may have played somewhere else too. I'm not sure, but he was with the Tigers for about 5 years or so, and then left for Washington. I mean, he's kind of a journeyman now. He's been around the block.
I remember
he's been around the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been around the world and yeah.
I remember when the Dodgers said that Clayton Kershaw was going to be on the roster for the World Series, and a lot of people were like, "Start him when they start Max Scherzer, you cowards!"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Yeah, we need to get the unk off."
Has he played yet?
Kershaw in the playoffs? No.
In the playoffs, he hasn't. The entire playoffs, he hasn't.
No, he wasn't on the roster for the wild card or the DS or the CS. No.
I wonder why they didn't play him when they were like down by like 11-2 or whatever.
I don't know.
Just put him in there.
Yo, you know what'd be crazy?
Or maybe they're waiting for LA, like just so like he can have like a huge ovation.
Uh, that's a great point because I know Shohei's pitching Game 4.
Yeah.
Or they should do. What if
Throw
they?
Bobby Kaboose out there for game 4, 5.
Yes. What if
Yes.
in the de facto like let's say they're up 3-2 and up like 4-3 in Game 6. Entering the ninth, warming up in the bullpen, you see that big funky lefty, and Clayton Kershaw comes in and he saves the game and saves the day and saves the series, and then he retires.
Or
Or
he comes out and
he
he
gets
deliberately walks 4 guys in a row. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you.
that would be so,
And he's like, I'm out. You'll never see me again. And he just turns heel.
so
And then, once he walks in the winning run, he fucking rips off his jersey, and there's a giant blue jay that comes out.
right when he unzips it a little bit, you just see it like flying around, still trapped inside.
Or he rips off his shirt, like how like when you open like a limo door and all the doves fly out, like
Yeah.
a bunch of blue jays fly out, and then he's got tattooed on his chest "Blue Jays for life," and he just
Hold on.
walks off.
It's got BJ4L on.
Yeah, yeah.
He just
And
unzips
then
it.
I,
It's just
oh my god, the biggest heel turn since John Cena.
that'd be so funny. That'd be fucking hilarious.
It would
Oh,
be great.
we didn't even talk about like the Monday night game. I mean, there's not really gonna be much of a
Who's
game.
playing tonight?
It is it's the Chiefs and the Commanders, and there's no
Cool.
Jaden Daniels, and it's in Arrowhead. So
So
the
the
Commanders
refs
are
are to win by 30.
the the Commanders are they might get lumped up.
Yeah.
Like Terry McLaurin's coming back, which is a good sign. One of my buddies last night, he was looking at props just early on, just some of the goofy props, and they had like Marcus Mariota first quarter passing 100 or more yards,
Mm-mm.
at like a plus 22,000 or something crazy odds, because it's like, yeah, of course he's not gonna throw for 100 yards the first quarter, and they're like, hey bro, we've seen Josh Allen throw for like 300 in the fourth. I'm like, it's Marcus Mariota, dude.
Dude, all you need is like 180-yard pass.
That's what we were saying.
And then,
It the way that I don't see a scenario in which Washington wins. I think the spread's up to like 11.5, and I'm like, that still might not be enough points.
because they don't have a quarterback and they're versus the refs as well. So it's
That's my
like,
point.
all right, dude. Like I witnessed it firsthand, dude, with Detroit. There was 0 penalties against Kansas City on prime time. Like it was like unbelievable. So I'm just expecting that again. I'm expecting like I don't even really have much interest in watching this game because it's like, okay, dude, like, I'll probably have what I did last week. I'll have Raw on the laptop and I'll be switching between baseball and football, and it'll probably be majority World Series because I don't care about Taylor Swift and I don't care about Kelsey and I don't care about the Chiefs and the refs blowing them.
Blowing them. Do we know anything that's going on Raw tonight or not?
No, no, no. They got to. I do know that they got to, because I think Saturday night main event is next Saturday or this coming up Saturday where Jey Uso is fighting CM Punk for the title.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't really know what's going on tonight. I don't really care to see like,
What's
oh, here's
scheduled or
the schedule for
something?
shit. Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just watch the fucking thing.
Yeah, I was just curious because, like I said, I know some, or like you just said, they'll preview them sometimes on Twitter
Mhm.
or insert social
Yeah.
media news outlets like, oh, what to expect tonight on Raw, and I'm like, oh, well, that kind of takes away. I did see there was a trending like teaser video that was going around Twitter
Yeah,
yesterday.
someone like walking.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's
okay,
cool. That's
I'm
cool
like,
boots, bro.
okay, so they have legs.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
they got normal
so it's
size
not
feet.
it's not what's his name that had the one leg? Gowan.
Yeah.
Um what was his first name?
I don't remember
Remember
all.
Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of
I
him
was
and
just about to say the only thing I remember about him is when like he tried to beat up Brock and Brock beat the shit out of him.
didn't Brock rip his leg off?
I know his leg came off. I don't remember who initiated the leg take off. I think he took it off as like I can beat you with one leg and then I the weapon. I think he took it off as like I can beat you with one leg and then Brock did like just his little like his 2 feet distance clothesline and just and then like drove him into the fucking post and stuff like that.
Well, the one dude from the crowd gave Montez Ford his leg to hit somebody with in a no DQ match.
Hey, you gotta use what's
That was
available.
pretty cool.
Gotta use
It's
what's
like,
available.
dude, ECW back in the day before your time,
I
they
remember
used to have
ECW.
bring your own weapon night at the and they would have like people bring in shit for the guys to use like I mean people were using like Nintendo 64s and shit.
That's
It was
so
awesome,
funny.
you know.
I remember that famous ECW clip where like the show's over and everyone just picks up and starts throwing like a gazillion chairs into the ring.
Yeah, on top of Mick Foley and Terry Funk. Yeah, I
Terry,
think Terry Funk got like buried from him. He
Terry,
got hit like he got hit in the back of the head with one and he just like drops. It's
Terry,
so funny.
Terry fucking Funk. Is he still alive?
I believe so.
I was gonna say
I
that
believe.
it's one of those memes. That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Yeah, man.
Terry Funk.
He was old back
He
in 2000 when
he was
he took a little run.
he was old when he was the old guy back in the old guy time.
I know, man. Oh, he was old before I was old.
That's
Um,
so funny, dude.
just like Ric Flair, dude. I always thought Ric Flair was like over 50 years old, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Him bro's in his
And now you're
80s
like,
still going nuts.
right. But anyway, thanks
Yeah,
for joining us here on a Monday, a very manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. You know why?
'cause it's
Because
fun
it's my
day.
fun day. Um, anyway, um, we are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Um, over on the YouTube New Leaf News channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check us out for your breakfast, or if you can't, feel free to watch us later. All of our episodes are posted up on that YouTube channel. Go over to newleafnews.com/network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, horoscopes, politics, murder shit, whatever. You name it, we got it over